After examining your self-talk, you also have to look a little deeper. Now, this actually goes deeper energetically because when you have self-talk, you create thoughts in your brain, you create visualizations, you create feelings and emotions in your body. And all of this is transmitted through energy. So, really, what you're doing is when you're creating these feelings inside of you, you're creating energetic vibration that courses through your body. So we know that, oh, that emotion doesn't feel very good. Well, that's energy that actually creates that. And it travels through our body, along our nervous system. We can feel it through all parts and areas in our body, but it's usually sending messages to our body. So it's often sending either a high vibration energy or a low vibration energy, depending on the thought that we're sending, but it's also sending signals. So it's telling our body to do something. It's giving us a feeling, and it's either building or depleting our energy. So we really have to challenge our thoughts. As we challenge the self-talk, we have created thoughts by our self-talk, but we also have thoughts and feelings that we have created over the years and decades. And we need to challenge those as well, because they're what are boosting us, but they're also implanting all this knowledge and energy or memory in our cells and through our system. So if we're not challenging these, we don't know that we're actually sending the right messages that we want to be sending to our body. So you have to do the same process you did with your self-talk, with your thoughts and feelings. And it's simply meaning catching those and trying to imagine how that is either helping you or hindering you. Now, this is a little more challenging because some have existed for so long that we don't even really know that they're deep-seated emotions and feelings that we have. So they're harder to process and go through. But one of the simplest ways to do this is to actually just sit quiet with yourself once in a while. And I recommend this every day, if not many times a day, especially when you start. And it can be after something has gone well or if something's not going so well. But just take 2 minutes, and really just 2 minutes. Sit down with yourself and say to yourself, how am I feeling right now? And as silly as it seems to have that conversation, it is the most valid way that we can just examine where we are, what's going on. And the hard part of this that we can be challenged with is sometimes it's a negative emotion coming up, and you have to be okay with that, because you want to recognize when you're not feeling in a very good place. It's the only way to then acknowledge that emotion, let it come up so that you can let it go. So just simply to start, when you take those few minutes, ask yourself how you're doing. And it can be physical, it can be mental, it can be emotional, but just say to yourself, how do I feel right now? Does my knee hurt? Does my back hurt? Am I sad? Am I just really tired? And you process what's really going on in that moment and think about what you were thinking about, how it was making you feel, and is there another way you want to feel? And so the same rule applies here. You want to say to yourself, what would I tell my really good friend or that person I love? Encouraging words. What encouraging words would I use right now to help them through this? Because that's what you need to hear. That's what you need to change the process that's created the thought and the feeling. So you have to say to yourself then, how do I want to feel? And if it's, I just want to feel a little bit lighter. I want to feel a little bit happier. Imagine you're speaking to that friend and they've just told you that. What would you say to them? You'd probably give them some encouraging words like, you actually are doing well. You're doing okay. Today wasn't a great day, but tomorrow's a brand new day. Let it go. It's okay to be sad once in a while. It's okay to be frustrated once in a while. Acknowledge it. Today was a busy day. Let's let all the things that didn't go well today come up, go, so that tomorrow's a brand new day. We don't need to solve that today. We can just let that go for today and start new tomorrow. That's the kind of conversation you want to have. Now feel the relief that you've just had by speaking that way to yourself. You've let it go. You're not hanging on to that energy. You're not going to bed frustrated with yourself. You can just let it all go. And that's what you would tell a friend. Let that friend be you. Let's create a new feeling. And so then you can take this one step further and you just say to yourself, how do I want to feel? And probably when you think about how you want to feel, you can sometimes associate even a physical activity that will help you feel that way. That's sometimes the best way to get out of an energetic vibration that isn't really serving you. So when you feel down, when you feel depressed, and you acknowledge that you feel that way, then say, how do I want to feel? I just want to feel loved. I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel like there's not so much pressure on me. And think of what you can do to help yourself feel that way. So can you go do something that you love? Maybe you like playing guitar. Maybe you like reading or drawing or hanging out with your animals. Go do that for 5 minutes. Just break those energetic signals that are coursing through your body that are reminding you that you're frustrated or sad or just not feeling your best. And go do the thing that does make you feel good, even for a few minutes. That's just going to change the whole system that's running through you, the whole messaging that's going to go through. And it's literally going to change the feelings that are coursing through your nervous system. You can't help but change those feelings and energies that are running through your body by changing the situation and creating something that you do enjoy being. It's really the quickest opportunity you have to kind of change the trajectory of the way those feelings are making you feel, is change the environment, change the physicality, and then you have the ability to change what you're thinking about, and that will change the feeling. Now, we don't always have an opportunity to make this drastic physical change in a situation. We may be in a meeting, we may be somewhere with our kids and having to take care of those. So the next tip I have is to actually change what you think about. So sometimes it's nice to even create a list. And it's a list of things that are good memories or good thoughts that you have. So they could be memories of a trip that you had, or maybe just a really good memory of a day you had with your kids. It can even be a moment you had with your children. It can be a place that you hiked to that was just very relaxing and very beautiful, that you can just pretend you're there for a second. So create these opportunities that if you can't change things physically, then you can at least work towards creating a physical picture in your mind that reminds you of a situation where you were physically in a situation that was very encouraging or supportive or fun or relaxing or peaceful. And those moments when you really can't do a lot to help yourself will just give your body, your mind, your nervous system a break from that mental position we have ourselves in, that repeated situation of emotional challenges or more negative feelings. You at least for a moment just break that cycle, and then you can work to start to create a more positive thought process. Remember, what you're trying to do here is be your best friend. So you can always be asking yourself, what would I tell someone else to do right now to deal with this situation? And that's really your guide to where you want to go with this. You're always wanting to think, what does my best friend, what does someone I love need to hear right now? Because that person is always you.